Hey, it's Eric from The Music Coaches at themusiccoaches.com, and we're going to continue on with the discussion about the Christian music industry. This is another video on that topic. A couple of days ago, I wrote a blog post entitled 6 Wrong Reasons for Being in Christian Music. I want to continue that now and talk about making Christian music for the right reasons with title of the blog post that I wrote is called How to Make Christian Music Without Selling Your Soul. So let me just reiterate one of the main points of the blog post, which is really to say don't make Christian music at all if you're not called to it. It's just too hard, too difficult to do this if you're not called to do it and if you don't have the purpose behind why you're doing it. If your motive is money, fame, pressure from your parents, feeling obligated, or using Christian music maybe as a stepping stone or a fallback because you can't make it into mainstream music, those are just not good reasons for making Christian music. Because the Christian music industry, you're going to be disappointed. It's set up for two main reasons: to serve people that are already believers, give them hope, to minister to them, encourage them, exhort them, and for evangelical purposes, to give hope to the hopeless, and to hopefully lead people to Christ. And that's the purpose of Christian music. And all of the vehicles within Christian music, like radio, TV, touring, festivals, retail, online outlets, really they're all set up to serve people that want to make Christian music for those purposes, to minister to believers and for evangelical purposes. So just be careful to not do Christian music just because you feel pressured from your family or from your church, or because you're a Christian and you love music doesn't mean you have to do Christian music necessarily, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure your motive is right and your heart is right and you have a calling from God and a purpose for what you're doing and why you're doing it, because that's going to keep you through the difficult times. That's going to be a reminder to you through the times when it gets challenging, and it's the music industry. It's going to get challenging. So what are some other ways to make Christian music without selling your soul? Well, one of the things that's very important if you're going to be in the Christian music industry is to constantly be building up and strengthening your own faith. You just need to have a desire to please Him first and foremost, and you have a desire to build your relationship with God through Christ. And that's incredibly important. A lot of times that takes discipline. Just like it takes discipline to strengthen your physical body, you need to be practicing the spiritual disciplines, which there's a great book out there called The Spirit of the Disciplines, and also another book called Practicing the Spiritual Disciplines. And those are fantastic books. I'll try to put a link on this video to those books, just so you have those as a resource. But another thing that you want to do and practice is to surround yourself with a covering from your home church or community of believers, people that will encourage you, support you, but also hold you accountable. Just make sure you're plugged into your local church and you are being fed, because you're going to be doing a lot of feeding. You're going to be doing a lot of giving of yourself away. You also need to be practicing those spiritual disciplines of prayer, even fasting, and spending time with God, spending time with other believers, being involved in your local church. And there's nothing more rich for a Christian artist than having the confidence of knowing that you're surrounded by unconditional love and encouragement, and you know why you're doing what you're doing. The next thing I want to make a point about is the importance of picking the right team around you, and kind of falls next in line after your spiritual team and the people spiritually that are building you up. I'm talking about your business team. your accountant, your manager, your PR agent, your record company, your distribution company, your booking agent, your web development team. If you're just getting started, you may just have one other person that's doing all of those things or helping you do all of those things. But it's important that you spend time with people that are in your corner, that are your advocates, that understand your heart and your purpose and your calling for doing this, what you're doing, and that they have the same servant's heart that you do. They understand your fans. They're equally yoked with you. Get the right people on your team. That's hugely important to making Christian music without selling your soul. Next, you need to be a wise steward of your money, but it should in no way control you. There are over 800 scriptures in the Bible that talk about handling money, and it's obviously important to God. So, we are in the business of doing ministry in Christian music. Handle all aspects of it the way God intends you to handle it. Understand and know some of those key scriptures in the Bible that talk about money and how to put it in its proper perspective. One of the courses that I took, and my wife and I took, Chrissy, was Financial Peace University back in 2007 or 2008. It was tremendously helpful for us. And now I think Dave Ramsey has a course called EntreLeadership. And both of those are very important and very good courses, foundational courses for handling money. And he talks quite a bit about the biblical foundation for what he talks about, the biblical foundation for what he teaches about money. Next, how to make Christian music without selling your soul. Be always ready to serve. Servanthood is key and foundational to your Christian music career, so to speak. But some of the times that I'm most encouraged is when I see a Christian artist, and I've seen this a lot, just simply and honestly serving their communities, their fans, their peers in the industry. When an artist lays down their pride and humbles themselves and just spends time with people in the industry and spends time with their fans and encourages their fans and does more than just sing and get out of there and collect a check. That's incredibly impactful to me, and I think will go a long way in your career. So keep that kind of attitude in your ministry, and you will go a long way, and God will be faithful to honor and bless your actions and the motivations of your heart. For more on that, just take a look at Matthew 16:24 in Scripture. I think you'll find that to be an encouragement. Realize also that there's a battle going on around you, that this battle is spiritual. We do not war against other people. We're warring against other spirits, and the war and the battles are happening in the spiritual realm rather than in the people realm. So don't let the enemy tell you lies about yourself and someone else. By the way, that scripture comes from Ephesians 6:12. Resolve your conflicts quickly. If you're the one being hurt, forgive quickly. Don't let anger destroy your heart. Forgive. It's for your benefit, as well as for the other person. And if it's you that made the mistake, admit your mistakes quickly, both to God and to the person you have hurt. Give yourself and others around you the grace that you've been given through Jesus Christ. I think that's a huge part of the right attitude for being in Christian music. Because there's a battle going on around you, another thing you want to make sure you're doing is keeping yourself grounded daily. And that goes back to the disciplines I was talking about. Jesus gives the model prayer in Matthew 6, and he shares that prayer with us. Focus, meditate, and pray each verse of that model prayer out loud, sincerely with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Just walk through each one of those. It starts out with worship, worshiping God. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So, again, it starts with worship, and then it talks about your will being done. If you go on through that model prayer, I'm not going to go into each verse, Maybe I'll even do a whole blog post on that. But just go through each one, focus on it, and you really start to become grounded in what it is and why it is you're doing what you're doing. You don't get too full of yourself, and you don't think you're much better than anybody else. You need to keep yourself grounded. So that's key. Lastly, make sure that just like with everything else in your life, that you remember to sincerely love God and love others. Focus on that simple principle, because all else stems from this. Just like it says, like Jesus said in Matthew 22:37 and 38, very clearly just says that those are the most important things. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. So those are two key things, loving God and loving others. Doing the best you can. Now, not everybody's going to love you back, but it's important that you do that so that your relationship and your Christian walk stays solid. So these are several of the keys to making Christian music without selling your soul. Join us again at themusiccoaches.com for more blog posts like this.